Hi Grandma, happy birthday. So we're all supposed to record a really funny memory of you that we have. So the first thing that came to my mind was obviously the makeup box incident with the messed up pricing, the sign was wrong or something when you obviously let the salesperson have it. But I think Rachel's gonna steal that memory from me. I guess we were both just traumatized from it. So anyway, another thing that I was thinking about was just every time that we would go out to eat, usually probably Max and Irma's because that's probably where I usually picked, whenever you usually had your favorite servers at each restaurant, of course, and whenever that we didn't get that server that you liked, I would always be kind of just tense or stressed out or worried about what was going to happen, because you know, if that inferior server maybe gave you too much ice or like not enough ice or a lemon or not a lemon or whatever, you know, you would maybe let them have it and it would be super embarrassing. So I was just thinking about how sometimes I would just be on edge, you know, waiting for something to happen. So that's just, you know, the memories I have. Obviously it was super embarrassing when I was younger because, you know, normal people don't act like that, Grandma. But now it's just kind of funny to think about just what a character you are. But I love you so much, and I have so many good memories with you, and now that's just a good funny memory too. But I have so many memories of just all the time that we spent together. I loved spending the night with you guys. You and Papa would just spoil the crap out of us, and I just loved it so much. I loved staying up late with you and going out to eat and going to shopping and just all the fun things that we did. I just love you so much, and I hope you know that. You're just such a great grandma. I hope you have a really special birthday. I hope you know how much we all love you and how much we care about you. And I just hope your day is as wonderful as you are, and I love you so much.
Hey Martha, I hope you're feeling better. I was told to think of a funny story about you, and it's hard to just think of one story. I always think of just our conversations that we have with each other, and you're just so fun to talk to, and you're just so quick, and the things you'll say just really always make me laugh, and you're brutally honest, and I think that's great. I always call Sarah Mini Martha because she has a lot of your qualities, and I joke around with that, but it's actually it is a compliment, because she inherited a lot of your wittiness and your truth, that I just admire in her like I admire in you. So hey, I hope you're feeling better, and I can't wait for you to get out of the hospital and just get your life back on track, get you back at Panera as soon as possible. So I don't really know how to close this. I'm sure Jordan will do some cool little editing thing as I get morphed into somebody else who's good.
Hi, Grandma. So I've been told that we are doing funny things about Grandma. So I've got a list here. I heard that somebody else may have used the same thing, but I think just to show the impact that it may have had on mine and Sarah's lives is, I'll just say it again. So this one time we were at JCPenney's, and we didn't really like to shop at JCPenney that much, but there was these really cool makeup boxes. They had blue and pink, and inside of them they had a bunch of makeup brushes, and they were super cool. There was a sign on the outside that said $5. So Sarah and I each picked out one. Sarah had blue, I had pink. We took them up to the counter, and the lady said that you had to have a $100 purchase with it. Well, Grandma then takes the lady over to the sign, shows them their improper signage, and demands that we are going to get our makeup boxes. I was absolutely humiliated. I wanted to crawl inside of the makeup boxes, and I did not want one anymore, but we got one, and I did use it for years and years. So that was a special little situation that we had with Grandma that was lots of fun. Looking back on it, it's hilarious. At the time, it was not so funny. Anytime we would go to a restaurant, Grandma would always make sure that we had our food exactly how we wanted it, that we were happy. I think that there was a couple times where I either witnessed somebody else sending their food back or had my own food sent back. It was pretty humiliating, like managers involved, you know, all of that. To the point where when Grandma would say, "How's your food?" you would say, "Oh, it's great. Like my steak is bleeding, but it's great." Because you didn't want your food spit in or anything like that. It was a little traumatizing, but you got what you wanted. Grandma is somebody that is extremely blunt. Looking back, she has never hurt my feelings. It's just kind of her personality, and it's amazing. We've got some Martha Juniors floating around now, I think, but she's somebody that will tell you exactly what's going on, and you take her word for it. I never have dark hair anymore. I always have blonde hair, because one time I had my hair really dark, and I really liked it. I thought it was something different, and I liked it at the time. I think I was probably, I don't know, early college years. And Grandma said, "Your hair looks ugly. It looks ugly." Not that I looked ugly, and she made that very clear. I was not ugly, but my hair was ugly. So since then, I've never dyed my hair dark. I keep it very blonde now, and that's part of the reason. And I always tell people that my grandma told me that my hair was ugly dark. So something more recently is we have had some family shares of group text messages where Grandma she will comment on Facebook posts that are political. So there's been numerous times where I have screenshotted and sent them on to the family, and we just kind of joke about how she gets involved in these millions and millions of shares on political posts. I think mostly they're about like Obama, and I remember one of them said something about, do you think that we should make a statue of Obama and put it at Mount Rushmore? And Grandma had this comment on it, and it was just hilarious. But yeah, we just kind of all joked about it. But joking aside, Grandma is so special to all of us. We love her personality. When I was little and growing up in a family of 5 kids, you don't get a lot of attention, so I always enjoyed that time, like especially for birthdays, where we would get to Grandma would make it special for us. We would get to stay the night for just by ourselves, and usually she would take us to like lunch or dinner, or we'd go shopping, and then in the morning there would always be like donuts or something, and it was always a fun time. I always enjoyed, even though we would stay up really late, and we would usually watch her shows that were usually like some mystery or detective, or usually they were kind of scary, and at some ages I probably shouldn't have watched them because they kind of gave me nightmares, but I always stayed up late anyway because I enjoyed the time with her. So that was always special. And then I always loved my dentist appointments when I would have my braces, and Grandma would pick me up, and there would always be something special involved, and it was just time that I got to spend just with Grandma. So I always enjoyed that. Grandma, we love you. Happy 80th birthday.
Hi Martha, it's about 3:30 in the morning, and I figured I'd give the criminals a little break and share a memory with you. I remember back when Rachel and I first started talking, we hadn't even been on our first date yet, and Debbie told Rachel to ask me to come to church. So 2 days later I'm sitting in church meeting Rachel's family. But I quickly realized 2 things were most important in Rachel's family, and that's God and family. And I remember the first time I was supposed to meet you and John, and Rachel told me that John would love me, and as long as I didn't say anything politically stupid, that you would too. But I remember meeting you and John and never felt anything but welcomed. And I remember we were sitting at, I want to say it was Panera Bread, and we were all talking about restaurant services and how if something was wrong that you'd quickly fix the problem. I never witnessed this personally until Rachel and I were at Kohl's, and we bought a pair of basketball shorts that were on sale. We got the shorts and went to the register, and the lady behind the register rang the shorts up wrong, and I stood there and witnessed my wife completely change. I never knew that she was capable of getting snippy at somebody, but I remember standing there thinking, lady, you better fix the problem, because I don't know what she's about to do or what she's capable of. Luckily for her, she fixed the problem, and we walked out of there, but Rachel just smiled and said, sorry, I get it from my grandma. But anyway, thanks for everything, and I've enjoyed getting to know you and John and being a part of the family.
So one of my most memorable memories with Grandma was when I had just started dating Kurt, and we were about to take this big family trip to Florida, and we were trying to kind of prepare Kurt for Grandma because he hadn't been around her that much. And so we were like, well, Grandma can be a little blunt. By a little, I mean like a lot. And so, if she says something about you or to you or whatever that's a little feisty, don't worry about it, just Grandma. And when we go out to eat, if the waiter is not very good and she gets kind of cranky, like, it's no big deal. Or if we're playing cards at night, like euchre, and she might yell at you, like if you do the wrong move or don't play by the right rules, but it's no big deal, just Grandma. So we were like trying to prepare him for the week of Florida with Grandma. And then we go and Grandma's perfect. Yeah, she doesn't do any of those normal Grandma things. And so Kurt's like, I don't understand, your grandma's so joyous and so sweet and kind. And we were just like, so she fooled him for the week, but he knows now, okay? But no, so that's something I just look back at and laugh at, because we just love all those things about Grandma that makes her who she is. But another thing that's really is sweet and really is kind. I would always go to Fisanto's, this youth group, when I was in high school, and Grandma and Papa lived super close, so I'd get to spend the night with them every Sunday night, and Grandma just made it super special. We would stay up really late and watch all her crime shows, which I don't even know that I got that into, but it was just so fun, getting to do it with Grandma and stay up really late. And she would do her nails and pop me popcorn, and then in the morning Papa would always wake me up singing You Are My Sunshine, and then Grandma would have eggs and bacon and hot chocolate, and that's just how Grandma always is. She always makes, no matter what we're doing, just special, and she always joins you in your life, whatever is going on, and becomes a part of it. And I really appreciate that a lot, even when she's blunt and a little feisty. It's always good to have her around for everything. So Grandma, I love you so much.
Martha, I think the first time I got to spend any time around you was actually down in Florida. Abby and I were just dating, and she had invited me to go on a family vacation with her, and you and John were going to be down there, so we headed down there. And part of the ride down, I remember Abby kind of filling me in on your personality. Since I didn't know you at all, she was kind of listing all of your endearing qualities. And I remember one of the words she used to describe you was that you could be feisty. And so I remember kind of taking that as a warning not to say anything really stupid around you. And so as I spent a week with you down there and got to know you a little bit better, I remember it was probably sitting around the table playing euchre one night. I remember thinking, man, I don't see that feisty side. I only witnessed you being kind and loving to everybody. And so as the years have gone on, I've only witnessed those same things, those same qualities in you, that you just seem to be so kind and loving. And I always laugh at how all the grandkids argue about which one of them is your favorite. And so I just want to thank you for being so welcome and loving to me, and thank you for the godly influence that you've been on your family. That is very obvious from the time I joined the family. I knew that a lot of the positive things, they came back to you and John. And so just thank you for allowing me to be a part of this. I've enjoyed getting to know you better. Oh yeah, and I'm sorry for beating you so many times at euchre.